one, he was asking, is cloud mainly for backups and not to run as a working server? Correct. So we're not. This isn't a virtualization service. So this is a secure backup service and the most secure in the market. The clarification on the web integration package, and we'll go through a little bit of it soon. The web integration package is quite a unique offering. In fact, it is absolutely unique. The reason we call it a web integration package is because, well, one, how many of you have internal web development and or web design staff? Let's keep it for web development. How many have internal web developers? Or if you yourself are a web developer? Okay, so just so you know, that's pretty much hit about 3 or 4 of you out of 50. So the whole reason we put this web integration package is, as most software companies have, we have APIs. APIs, application programming interface. It's just hooks into our system that allow you to perform certain things. Our APIs are all web-based, and therefore account management services like create, upgrade, cancel. And what we were finding is a lot of our partners were coming and saying, yeah, well, you know, we haven't sold anything in the first couple of months because we're still setting up and getting ready. Well, what do you mean? And they said, well, we're working on this integration with the API that you provided, and you know, it's taking a while to get it done. We've had to redo it a couple times, and it's pretty expensive. We had some people quote out as much as $15,000 in web development. Now that was quite an exception, but we saw on average about $6,000 to $10,000 to get some integration into various merchant systems, into existing web portals, whatever it is. So the web integration package was born out of us seeing the need to really fill that hole. So what we've done is we've taken our APIs and we've built this package that we can conform to you, and we have some different options. We've built in not only just account management services and billing integration for PayPal, Authorize.net, and soon we're going to be adding eWay integration for our Australian partners. But we add a lot of things over time. So we've seen it as a great product because we can build a lot more into this over the course of a year than most of our partners have time. For most of you, some of you said that you yourself are a web developer, and I'm assuming that you are also the head tech, the salesperson, the CEO, president, and head of marketing. So being that even you're qualified, it's the time that it takes you away from those things, the distraction costs. Got some confirmation on the multiple hats. So most of you are wearing many hats, you know, as is the nature of providing IT services to SMBs.
I do everything ever.
Yeah, that's a good one. So the whole idea here is let's make it easier for our partners. Now, we have a lot of stuff in here. Part of it is a content management system. So because it is a product that we're supporting, we control the DNS, but we give you great hooks into being able to define some SEO items like site keywords, site description, page titles. You can do it globally for the site or individually per page, and we'll show you that in a minute. And it gives you a nice little, you know, what you see is what you get editor, as well as the ability to just go into the source, so you can get the HTML if you like. Question from David, can you set a secondary DNS? No, not right now. We haven't explored that. The best way for us to continue supporting it is just to really keep that under control. What we often see is you get a web designer in there, and they have FTP access, and they start changing things, not realizing it's a product, not just a website, and then it breaks a lot of things. So we control the DNS to make sure that's good. And we'll get into that a little bit more. And some of you, like Sean, asking, can we get the APIs? Absolutely. If you want to develop in-house, you're more than welcome to do that. We do have a list of APIs. Just ask your partner specialist for them, and you know, once you get started, you'll be given access to start building.
Colin has a good question. Can we have an idea of transfer speeds? SOS ServerSave and all of our products do not throttle your upload speeds. So however fast your connection is how fast your uploads can go. Derek's switching over to actually an external study that we did about, about our super fast backup. Compared to Mozy and Carbonite, we were able to back up the same amount of data, which is 20.2 gigabytes of data, in 23 hours and 29 minutes. Carbonite took 56 hours and 3 minutes. Now, if you want to throttle your data and you want to maybe free up some other bandwidth for some other things that you're doing in that particular office, you can, but we don't limit you. You can back up as fast as you absolutely want to.
Yeah, and just on the speed note, this is really pretty significant that the transfer rate or the upload speed at the location that this test was done was about 2 megabits per second. If you were to do this at a faster location, you would see our time shoot down where the other two would pretty much stay the same because we don't throttle. So the connection here was, I think about 2.5 megabits per second actually. But yeah, so here's the information.
So the ISP connection was Charter 3 megabits per second upload. This is on our website if you guys want to check it out.
Yeah, and that's a great study. And generally what I always find is a really accurate way to think about it is as long as you have 2 megabit per second upload speed, then you can estimate about an hour per gig of data, and then you just pretty much run the backups and you'll see if that's accurate or not, or how accurate that is rather. All right, one other question about payment gateways from Michael. Do payment gateways use your accounts or ours? It uses yours. So what we do, and I don't know, should we plug it in right now?
Yeah.
Let's pull it up. So let's just pull up a web package. So I'm coming to managedonlinebackup.com. I'm going to managedonlinebackup.com. This is a live flow site that you can come to. On this site, we also have the program deck that we're going through today, so you can download that. We have links to recorded trainings, disaster studies, and then another deck here. So this is just a flow site. I log in. We'll see the back end of the web package. And just to briefly show the options we have on the left, let me minimize some of these. So we have the admin settings where you can go in and you can take a look at, setting some different items. So can users cancel or not? Email settings, copyright footer, source, and all the WikiWax kind of look like this. Page keywords, page description, so you can see how you can really get detailed in this with your SEO and AdWord campaigns. Update application, again, this is a living, breathing product, and you can see that we issue updates pretty regularly to it, most of which are based on your feedback, things that you need, things that would make your life easier, better, prettier, all the above. So we go through, we update this all the time, so you just come in and check for updates. We have the ability to set planned pricing. So you have all the pricing options that are shown on your sign-up page. So if we go back to the sign-up page, this is what the sign-up page looks like. You can full control to edit this top section and then the pricing and the titles of the different plans you have here. You do that all through here. It's very simple. The content section is really nice because we built it so that you don't need any prior existence or knowledge in the web design, web development world. You just come in and it's pretty simple. So we have our home page. We're going to hit View. And we have some more SEO data that we can set, your hit counter, whatever you like to look at or change. You hit Edit, and then you go through and you can see, this pretty much looks exactly like it looks on the main site. I can go to the source data, so you can change it from this view. and it's all very simple to use. There's a file manager that's very simple as well. So if we wanted to link this to something else, I could say, okay, well, let's link to a file on the server. And it's just generally a very easy-to-use system.
And we will get to a demo next. We usually do the web integration package at the end of the presentation, but there were some questions that we thought we'd get into it.
Yeah, and what's really nice is we have this mailer built in here, which probably doesn't get enough attention, but it is a very useful program, especially for those of you who don't have a big mailer system already put in place. But you very simply can add subscribers by simply uploading a CSV file in a very simple format, first column name, second column email. You sign it up, assign it to a group, and then you can send out mail campaigns, HTML mails, whatever you like, and then you have this nice statistics table. You can see bounced emails, open rate, click-through rate, send, total emails sent, unsubscribed. And you can view these stats by specific campaigns. So if you wanted to do a vertical specific campaign, which is highly recommended and discussed in more detail in our partner webinars, you can do that. You can do it by date range. It's very helpful. So these are things that we've continued to build on, and it was based off the original idea of let's give a way for our partners to simply plug in their credentials for one of these merchant systems and start accepting money for the service.
So we have a question, and that is, are there any fees for this? No, absolutely not. This is a complete business-in-a-box package.
Right. So going back to our presentation, let's just, again, these are all the things that you get when you enter the program. So there is a turnaround time for setup. Setup right now is about 2 weeks, about 7 to 10 business days, and your reps and our partner team will let you know if that changes, as it often does if we have a big influx of partners. But basically you're getting agents for Exchange Backup, Granular Recovery, the image-based backup tool, as well as a tool specifically to get those images off-site and recovered off-site, a management agent, the online backup and recovery agent, which is similar, pretty much the same thing as ImageStream, and then the web integration package, and then the mobile applications once we make those available generically. And that's all included in whatever your monthly subscription cost to us is. The subscription includes, again, like Shailene was saying, cloud space and server licenses.
As well as the web integration package.
Right.
Let's just blow through these quickly because I'm pretty sure you guys are hungry to get to a demo. And these are available from your partner specialist later. These are just some competitive comparisons between our SOS ServerSave product, our business product, if you're familiar with that, our home product, and Carbonite and Mozy. If you guys are currently reselling Carbonite or Mozy on file and folder, then SOS ServerSave is a completely different world. I know you have SMB clients, and so SOS ServerSave is what you want to back up their entire businesses. And this is a little bit more complete competitive comparison. It's comparing SOS ServerSave against Zenith, Intronus, and i365. Who you guys might be able to speak to. You may have spoken to them in the past. Again, SOS ServerSave really shines not just in the bare metal backup and recovery, but in mobility. Some of these other guys aren't really focused on allowing you to access, view, and share and restore data from almost anywhere. SOS ServerSave does. And we aren't even talking about the web integration package portion of this, but these guys do not have anything like that. Nor are there white label or customization abilities that of SOS's. So I think we're pretty ready to get into a demo here. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. And of course, ask questions to Derek while he's doing the demo. And this demo should take about 20, 30 minutes for some of you. I know you need to get off the line.
Okay, so I've signed into our Server 2008 box, and it's running R2, Server 2008 again, and I've launched ServerSave. So this is the ServerSave interface, and it has a couple of different views. Right now we're in the main application view, which just shows you the different tools we have. So we have Setup Backup, which pretty much just a use case way of getting to the different applications. And then Support and Manage just links back to your web integration package. Michael, you got to run, that's no problem, bud. Our partner specialist will be able to run through a full demo for you and give you all the information you need. So just make sure if you go to our website, the main number's on there. It's 877-896-3611, and hit extension 1, and you'll get in touch with one of our specialists.
Shannon has an interesting question. What is your stance or argument for customers who have multiple sites who could be used for offsite instead of the cloud? Well, their extra sites probably are not biometrically secured or under 24/7 watched. Also, they're managing them themselves, so they're probably more expensive. And they still need a software program to help do those backups, no matter where they're backing up to.
Yeah, it's really as simple as access. That's a lot of human involvement, which again is more prone to error, to be able to have remote access to information. I can pull up my iPhone and sign into the mobile version of the My Account system, or I can use the iPhone application itself, and I can search through my whole backup set, and I can recover or share a file right there. And that kind of access isn't something you get in most of those types of scenarios. Having someone set up a public IP or maybe a protected IP that you can then log into, not very common. I'm going to get through the demo, and then we'll take the rest of the questions thereafter. So first, application view. Online backup and recovery and image stream are pretty much the same thing. I'm not going to go through the online backup and recovery. I'm just going to go through image stream today. I'm going to start with ImageCreator. So the idea is, let's get a full image-based backup of some volume in our system. So I have a couple of tabs when I open this up. I have the Wizards tab, Windows Volume Manager. You don't need to use this on the Wizard. Backup jobs. You create jobs and edit jobs to the Wizard as well. Destinations, this is all done through the Wizard. And backup history, this is nice. It gives you a nice history, and you can plug in your RMMs to track this information as well. Wizards, backup. So I create a backup job. Hit next. Then it's going to give you a list of all the volumes it identifies. You can do it by list view or by this pretty view. I'm going to go with the pretty view and just select the exchange volume, E. Next, it's going to ask you where you want to point this. Typically, you'd point this to what we call a staging machine. Staging machine is really just a dedicated backup box. Really what we're trying to avoid is using up product resources using up system resources on a production environment. So if you're running an image-based backup offsite, it's going to take some time. You want to make sure that you're not affecting productivity. Because again, as soon as the whole idea of managed services is you ensure productivity is at highest levels, and you're also an asset to productivity by introducing better systems, better softwares, etc. So you can choose a network location here or define a network location here. For this demo, I'm just going to use virtual drive F that we've defined. Then next, we have the scheduler. Pretty familiar. This is very historical as far as, over the last 20 years, what do backup schedules look like. Very traditional image-based backup system would be a weekly full backup and then incrementals until the next weekend, and then you run another full backup. Now we don't really need that to be done. What we do is a continuous incremental. The reason we couldn't do this before is because recovering from an image-based system would mean you would have to restore first the full image and then restore each additional increment after in sequential order. And that's very time-consuming. Well, with the new technology we have in a chain recovery environment, you just say, okay, I want incremental number 60 to be the one that we restore to, and it'll automatically find the other chains in that link, or the other links in that chain, and get it done. So here we have the backup running. It's going to run a full backup at 6 p.m. on Sunday, and then it's going to run an incremental backup every 60 minutes between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. every day of the week, forever and ever and ever. And this makes it a much more viable option to have this as an off-site cloud-based solution. The big problem with image-based backup historically has been that's a lot of information. How are we going to get it off-site? And if it's off-site, how is it useful to us? Well, again, we do have that Cloud Boot service, $500 a week, a 7-day week, and we'll mount it up in our cloud, and you can access it that way. Okay, next, then it is going to compress the images before we go, and we have a lot of questions coming through, and we're going to get to the questions. I just want to run through the demo real quickly. So compression method, standard or high. Standard, you're typically getting about 50%. If you go to high, you're around 60 to 70%. Of course, it depends on the types of files in the system, et cetera. You can also encrypt the backup locally. So this is a local backup and recovery agent that we're going through right now. So this is a set of password locally. Legally, only HIPAA compliant customers need to do this, but there is certainly a security need for all people. So you can do that as well. You set the encryption level. While we're here in this advanced tab, we have pre-snapshot, post-snapshot, and post-backup commands. So while we do use BSS, and generally we'll support backing up almost any database while it's running, there's always going to be some proprietary database, especially in medical and accounting fields, where you're going to have to shut the database down in order to get a proper backup of it. That's just the way of the world. And this allows you to script those types of things. You also have the ability to split up an image. Again, more of a historical look into things. Those of you running tape systems know that maybe you still do this. You have to split up your backups into a lot of different chunks so you can fit in the various pieces of media that you have to put it on. Traditionally, very useful, more of a historical legacy item than anything, and it's not very commonly used today. Finish, we get a summary, so we hit finish.